Greetings and salutations. This is Charlton66 back once again after a very long hiatus, as they say. No reason for it. It's just then I had a chance to really sit down, do a video, and speak to the people. So here I am. Get my glasses off that. Hold on, look, watch. Hypnotic Eye of Charlton66. Yeah, I was going to do one when I got back from Baltimore, which has been a while. I know I was going to do a Baltimore report, but it's so long ago. I'm going to show you, of course, what I picked up at Baltimore and a little anecdotes and things about the show, pros and cons about Baltimore, but nothing really like a report type of thing. I was waiting for my last piece of a commission to come in to show, to have it all, to encompass the full Baltimore experience or what I picked up. Hope everyone has been well. Thank you to my new subscribers. I do appreciate that. It's so tough. I mean, I got a little part-time job at a comic book store, which is fun. I'm just doing it just to get out of the house, to interact, to get back out there with people. I've been retired for so long and just wanted to, get back and interact with people and do something fun, which I enjoy, no stress, just to, work at a comic shop and do comic book things. So that's kind of fun. Other than that, I've not too much been going on. I picked up a lot of books between Baltimore and now, which I'll show, and some other stuff. But I was going to do one of my rants, but I decided not to. However, I do want to mention on a positive note. Instead of doing a rant, I just wanted to mention, all the great people that I had met through YouTube and Instagram, either in person or online, doing videos and interacting with people. I don't want to be the negative Nelly, so I just want to sit there and say, I do appreciate everyone's friendship, talking about comic books, just keeping it a comic book type of thing, not worrying about speculation, not worrying about how much a collection is worth. Just talk about the funny books and just enjoy doing that. So that's always a good thing, and I have missed being on the 4-Color Fossils, and I hope my audio comes out okay on this, only because for some reason I've been using the same computer for years and never had an issue with audio, but for some reason through StreamYard or 4-Color Fossils, only me causing the problem of this echoing that exists during the broadcast. So having to work some Wednesdays and having technical difficulties. I've not been on 4-Color Fossils for a long period of time. Micah, the gang, anyone who's been on 4-Color Fossils, which is most of the people here that subscribe to me have been with 4-Color Fossils and know about what they're about, and I do miss them. I do miss being on there. So Micah, if you're watching, I will be here Wednesday. I might not say something. I'll be mute and just show books. Maybe we'll work something out. I don't know. But I do miss the guys and talking to them and having a good old time. And so onward to the books, artwork, action figures, toys, all this kind of good stuff that I've been picked up. It's going to be a long video. If you don't want to look at my mug, just keep me on, go back and board some comic books, read some comic books, and something pops up that you want to see, you can always rewind it, or if I hope I get your attention with something, and it'll pique your interest and you'll look at the screen. It's going to be a variance of things, like I said. Baltimore, which was September 8th, 9th, and 10th. I was there all 3 days. Actually, I take that back. I was there for 2 days. I couldn't make it on the Sunday. So I gave my tickets, well, my wife and I, we gave our tickets to her nephew who went with some friends. I was just tired because I had volunteered on Saturday, which was fun. A lot of work, a lot of standing around because you directed people in lines and telling people where to go and where the lines cap off, where they start, where they begin. That was my job that Saturday. I was in lines of various people from Walt Simonson to um, oh, I can't remember some of the artists I was doing lines for. It was such a long time ago. You know, the old man thing is said, and I can't think. But it was fun. I wore the Baltimore Comic Con minion shirt and was there, directing people. And I met some new people, which was great. Saw some YouTubers, some Instagram people, and it was great seeing them. I may volunteer again next year on Saturday. I liked the first time I didn't do a VIP pass because I knew I was working there on Friday. I mean on Saturday. Went there Friday, did all my stuff on Friday. Saturday I knew I was going to be working, and Sunday again I didn't. I was so tired from running around Friday, driving back home from Baltimore, which I'm about 70 miles from Baltimore, and doing the standing around, running around, getting my commissions lined up, getting my comic books, which that's another deal here in a second. I'll tell you about that. Um, the uh, the experience was quite fun being a volunteer. I highly recommend it. If you love Baltimore's con, kind of seeing the ins and outs of it is kind of cool. And you do get to meet artists and writers and that kind of stuff. If they're the popular ones with the long lines, you'll be there directing people and that kind of great stuff. So, as far as Baltimore, the experience on Friday, again, I said this wasn't going to be a report, but I guess it kind of is. Oops. Um, the comic books I was going to go after were my Charltons. The pre-code, that that term anymore is just being thrown around a lot. The same thing with Grail and pre-code horror. Now pre-code horror equals dollar signs to some of these dealers. The ceiling, I think, has been reached on a lot of the well-known pre-code horror books. And if you really narrow it down, it's really the covers where people are going after because the majority of the stories are really not that good. You'll get the high dollar ones. You've got the great artists. Don't get me wrong. You've got some good stories. I mean, EC is totally onto its own area. We want to include EC because it's the pinnacle as far as storylines and writing and artwork. It's the other companies I'm talking about, particularly Charlton. No one can give a rat's ass about Charlton a few years ago. I was finding pre-code Charlton horror. I kid you not. Some of these dealers, high three-figure to four-figure dollar amounts on this pre-code mid-grade 4.0 to 5 for these books. Ain't gonna happen with me. Sorry. There's too many reprints. I love reading them, the paper, the smell, the ads, everything that encompasses why we love older funny books is present in these books. I understand that. But I could have found a Black Panther's first appearance cheaper than I could have. I'm just throwing that out there because I remember seeing Black Panther FF52 next to a Charlton pre-code horror, and the Charlton pre-code horror was more. Again, the 52 FF52 was not as good a shape, but it was like a 3.0, 3.5, or whatever. Why would a Charlton? I love my Charlton, I do, but why would it go for more than a first appearance of Black Panther in a Marvel book from the 60s? It doesn't make sense because my opinion is now the ceiling has been reached on all these other comic books that the market is they want too much money for them. So what's the next one? Oh, let's go to Charlton now and try to get done. Do you want to sell these books to dealers, or you just want to have them on your wall? One dealer I went to, this coffee mug has more of a personality than this dealer I was talking to about these Charlton books. He acted like he didn't want to sell. He didn't want to talk. He just mumbled all the time and was just having these high dollar books that are multiple of guide. Overstreet, it's a guide. I understand that. That's what I'm saying. It's multiples of guide. Because now, great, they've got great covers, but some of the stories are really not that good compared to what you're getting on the covers. I'm a Charlton guy. I want to collect my Charlton. I like them. I enjoy them, but I'm not paying $8.50 to $11.50, $12.50 for a mid-grade Charlton. This magazine is haunted. The Thing, what's the other one? The Thing. I think The Thing was a big one. This magazine is haunted. Even some of the sci-fi ones. It's crazy. There's a thing I want. It's not even a Ditko cover. The guy wanted $650, and it guides for like $340. You know, it just anyway. That's my rant on it. It was a negative. It took a lot of wind out of my sails because I'm coming in. I'm going to buy my big book because I buy one big book and other issues that, I don't want to use the term filler because it sounds like, no, a filler book, whatever. No, I wanted to buy to complete runs and to buy other, other lower dollar books and enjoy the con. But the prices I was seeing on these Charltons was just, and I was flabbergasted. And I was looking at the dealers. Do you want to sell these books? Or do you just want to just look what I got? I don't know. I wasn't being that much of a idiot and giving him a hard time about it. But there was one dealer, In Love. It's a Charlton book. They're very hard to find. 4 and 5. I think 4 is scarcer than 5. I've been talking and we're like, what are we in this video? 12 minutes. I hope y'all don't care. But anyway, we'll get to the comics in a minute. Anyway, In Love was a mainline book from Kirby, from Simon and Kirby's mainline. They went defunct, sold the stuff to Charlton. Charlton published some romance. In Love, 4 and 5, I think, were the only 2 books. I think 4 is a more rare book. I have a line on 5, which hopefully I can get at some point. But one dealer, I don't know if it's a fair market value. I don't know. He had it for $850. The guide for like $200. I don't know. It was graded. It looked wonderful. This ain't gonna happen. But the prices were not what I expected. On this go around for this year. They were pre-COVID pricing or COVID, how they want to say it when they're asking a lot of money for things. They weren't coming down. I did find some gems. Don't get me wrong. There were some dealers I worked with that worked with me very, very well. I have no complaints. It's just a general feeling of, do you want to sell these comics? And it just wasn't, I wasn't hitting on all cylinders like I had been for the last 20 plus years going to Baltimore. And it was an eye-opening thing. It really was. Like I said, it took a lot of wind out of my sail. I was kind of moping about the whole thing, but I did pick up some books, my artwork, my guys I go to for commissions. I'm going to show that. Like I said, great talking to artists and writers, and I don't wait in lines. This is not me, because most of the people I like do not have lines. Most of the work I enjoy from folks do not have the lines that some other people have, and I just don't see spending hours upon hours in a line to get a signature. That's me. I've never have done that. Let me think. Have I ever done that? I've waited for the artist or the writer to get there to get something signed. I've done that because they were late. Steranko, was one I did that for, and he talked to me for a long time, and it was great. Anyway, um, uh, I've never done that. Not to my recent knowledge. I don't remember waiting and waiting and waiting hours in the line to get a signature. I have a it's a whole convention going on around you. How can one do that? I don't get it. I mean, I do get it to a certain degree, but for the most part, it's self-serving. I'll leave it at that. Um, Self-serving for the person getting the autograph. Um, I wish it was back in the old days. Those who watch my channel, for the majority of you remember how they did it back in the old days. You open up the page, sign at the bottom of the book inside, and you never knew it was signed. Only you knew it was signed. Now it's like, oh, look at this. It's a 9.8 CGC remark by Joe Blow comic artist. It's CGC certified. Again, self-serving. I said I was going to leave it at that, and I kind of went overboard, but I will leave it at that. So, onwards to the comic books and toys. Um, the big book, like I said, I find a big book. Went to Harley Yee. Everyone knows who Harley Yee is, who goes to Comic Cons. My gem, the book I picked up that I was very happy to find. I should have taken this out of the bag, and I didn't. But this is 4-color 75 from June of 45. That's going to be taken out of this, so don't worry. 8.5 off-white to white pages. I have to get the courage to do it. I never had anything this old and this high grade before. I don't want to damage the book, so I got to get my nerve up to do it. I popped all my books before, and I've never had an issue, but they've been mid-grade, like 4.5, 6.0, something like that. So, but this is pretty nice. This is an early appearance of Gene Autry. Jesse Marsh does the art cover and artwork inside. This was the big book of the day at Baltimore. Everything else was smaller purchases, and like I said, I was just I spent a lot of time talking with dealers to try and make deals and everything else on these Charltons. They just were not buying it. Buying it meaning my shtick on trading or selling or buying, that type of thing. So I was kind of tired. So I went to Harley Yee, looked around, and I saw this. I said, I'm pulling the trigger. And I got my early Gene Autry one. The Wildcat, she's going to be in a movie. So make sure you go out and buy this so we can all join the speculation. The Wildcat will be in a new Marvel got the property for her. So she's going to be in a new Ghost Rider movie and new Western. And it's going to be the Wildcat and Ghost Rider. No, I'm being stupid. No, that ain't the case. The Baltimore Yearbook, which I pick up all the time. This is Off Hearst Comics. They're celebrating, how many years? 30. Celebrating the first generation of independent comic books. I think it's 35 years or 30 or 40 years of the first comic book publication of First Comics. Those who read comics in the 80s know about First. This is the first yearbook that I was really, really excited about. I'm excited about the other yearbooks too because other artists will do pinups. And that's what it is. Artists at the con will do pinups of the first characters and do their rendition, and you go around with a little checklist and everything. They'll sign up for you. I don't do that. Not waiting in lines. Don't have the time. But I love First Comics. They were a bunch of great characters. American Flag, John Staple Freelance, Grimjack, Scout, all those great books. Of course, E-Man was first, but didn't start with first. He's a Charlton character. Um, but it's called Characters at the Crossroads, or celebrating, yeah, characters at the Crossroads. So it's a great volume. I'm very happy to have it, to pick it up. It's only like 20, 25 bucks, and it's a great souvenir from the con. And people do enjoy getting it signed because they give you a long ticket, and there's check off where you go. You can check off the artist and the writer as you go to get them signed, and and they'll tell you what booth they're at and everything else, so you can get the whole thing signed, which is kind of would be neat to have the whole thing done. And of course, one of my favorite artists in modern times is Jim Calafiore, and what did he do? Yeah, he sticks out like a sore thumb. His last name, Mark Wheatley, of course. Jonathan K. Snyder, some of my favorites. Steve Conley, of course. And see all these art. Everyone's in here. That's at Baltimore. That did Tom Mandrake, which I miss seeing him there. I already have a nice Spectre from him, but I wanted a Mr. Terrific, because he appeared in Spectre 54, his first appearance. And I liked him then, and they brought him back many years later. I think I find Calafiore. There he is. He did Nexus. See this is his contribution. Looks very cool. Good job. Always. And that's cool. That's one of my commissions, and I'm going to show what Jim Calafiore did for me, which I'll do that now. I'll show some of the artwork, get that out of the way, because some of it's kind of big. I don't want to mess it up. So I always go to Jim Calafiore, and he did this awesome shade for me. That's what I requested. His style, very tight, bold, very good use of blacks, and the shadowing and everything else is very good, very tight. He's doing a more looser approach now, and when I asked for the commission, he sent me a text and said, "You want me to do it?" Because I commented on how much I enjoy this looser style. He's on Instagram. He does a daily sketch. He calls a morning warm-up sketch of different characters. So it's great to see something different every day. I told him I like the looser approach. And so he asked me, do I want the commission in the looser style? I said, absolutely. And this is how it came out. I love the backgrounds. He captured shade very well. Again, like I said, the use of black and white, very effective. Just the backgrounds it's just a great piece. Great piece. So I got that from Jim. And another artist I really like. Unfortunately, he doesn't do a lot of pro work. He needs to. I like his style. His style is very golden age, silver age-ish style, and I've gotten stuff from him, and I showed it before. It's Chris Kimple. I like his stuff. I've gotten what was the last one he did for me? Oh, my Skyman, which was great. I had it done last year, and the year before that he was out because of COVID. But I wanted to do the Vigilante. So this is Chris Kimple's Vigilante he did for me. I like the pose, the colors, good stuff. Like the character so much, and this is a nice addition to the Vigilante collection. I've got Jonathan K. Snyder did a Vigilante for me. I got another guy, I can't remember who it was. It's in my portfolio. Now I got a Chris Kimple. I had commissioned Jonathan K. Snyder III last Baltimore, not this one, but the last one for Shadow. He's going to work on it, let me know how much I need to send him. Well, there was no communication, which was fine. He's busy. He's got a lot. He posts on Instagram. He's got a lot of pro work he's working on. And I was supposed to be there on Sunday at Baltimore. I didn't know he had actually done it for me. I haven't even paid him yet, and he had done it for me. And he texted me and said, "Hey, the shadow piece is done. Are you going to be here Sunday?" I was like, "Oh man!" And of course, I told him I wasn't going to be, so we made arrangements to send it to me. I made pay for shipping and stuff like that. Got to me in one day. Nice little note he sent to me, but he had this actually on display at Baltimore, waiting for me to pick it up, and people were complimenting on it, how cool it was. But here is Jonathan K. Snyder's The Shadow, and I've got so many pieces from him over the years. This Shadow, look at the cape, look at the work on that. Just so good. Mr. Terrific, got the two Mr. Terrifics together, Golden Age and Michael Holt, and they're side by side together. I got this, I got a Vigilante, I got another piece, I can't remember. Anyway, but I was just taken away. It's just so cool. His style, he's another artist that, if you look at his style, if you're familiar with his artwork, it's the 30s and 40s. I mean, the Golden Age stuff that he does for commissions and for other publications, it's so good. Of course, his Green Lantern, the Alan Scott Green Lantern that he did, it's just so good. I mean, everything he does is just phenomenal. And the last piece of artwork that I got was from the Frame Brothers of Super Adaptoid, which they did a phenomenal job with that, knocked it out of the park. They're always good to work with, and they're great guys. I was trying to think of one of my favorite Marvel villains. Super Adaptoid is that, and I think they really did a good job. And the scaling, they did all the scales. They didn't do the a little bit of scaling here and there to make it look like lightning hitting. They did the whole. They took the time to do it all, so it looks really good. Very happy with that. Speaking of Super Adaptoid, this guy, Marvel did a action figure. Look how cool he looks. He's huge. He's a scale to the rest of the Marvel action figure line. The belt is separate. I don't know if you can see his belt. I don't want to mess up his pose, but his belt is a separate piece of molded plastic. It's not attached to his body. But they just did a phenomenal job on this. It's a bit pricey. He's heavy as anything, but it's very cool. Super Adaptoid. Very nice. Yeah, had to get him. Got him from the local comic shop, not from Baltimore. Like I said, I got him from the local comic shop. The one that I am working at, which is quite fun. Onward to some of the Baltimore books. This is the Baltimore Comic Con program. Tell you what's going on. But, the typical program, but it's pretty nice. This is the guy's store that runs at Mark Nathan, Cards, Comics, and Collectibles. It used to be an old movie theater, and he turned it into a comic book store. I think this is his third location. Not 3 locations. He had another store, Cards, Comics, and Collectibles since the 80s, and then the new store he's had since 2015, 2010, something like that. But yeah, it used to be an old movie theater. It's in Reisterstown, Maryland, is where Cards, Comics, and Collectibles are at. So if you're ever in Reisterstown or go to Baltimore Comic Con in town for that, it's worth going to Cards, Comics, and Collectibles. Check them out. Speaking of action figures, got the Creature for the Black Lagoon. This is from NECA. And he's pretty neat. 2 heads, 6 hands. I haven't took him out yet, but he's going to be displayed. I want to do the video first. Yeah, good old Creature, man. I'd like to get a commission one day of somebody, one of my favorite artists, of him and Doc Savage battling one another. Could be kind of cool. But yeah, it's a pretty cool figure. They're still available. I think they're around $30, which is well worth it. The faces are really good. Yeah, so got the Creature. Let's see what else we got. Let's see where we pick up. These are non-Baltimore books. Alright, I did pick up Space Adventures. Let's see, what number? I think it was 36, his 3rd appearance. 37. This was a worth the purchase. Very cool. Charlton, Space Adventures 37, his 4th appearance, from December 1960. I had one in my hand, number 33. The $1,600 price tag was not, again, what I expected. That book, I get it. It's his 1st appearance. It's not that readily easy to get your hands on. But that price, just couldn't do it. Out of This World, a nice Charlton. This is this is number 16 from 1959. I don't think there's a Ditko story in this, but it's still good reading. Yeah, there is. The Little Things. Whoa. Nice stuff there. Love my Charltons, man. And again, most of the Charltons, I can't say most, but most of the run outside of the True Confessions or the Double Entendre covers or the Severed Tongue covers, and some other quirky books, for the most part, you can find relatively cheap compared to their counterparts. That's just the way things are. But some of the prequel horror books that people were just asking, hold on one second, let me start another book. Nope, got them all. Just absurd. Strange Suspense Stories. Do not like this cover. I don't like how his face is covered up. It's just weird. This is number 39 from 1958, November. It's just, I don't like how his face is covered up. It's just strange. It's like I don't know. It kind of bugs me. This I bought from my boss. He was there. Had to set up. Korak, Son of Stone. This was a 9.9. Yeah, that's weird. 9.0 off-white pages. I cracked this open, and this is Korak, Son of Tarzan. Did I say Son of Stone? Didn't I? Yeah, Son of Tarzan, number 1 from 1964, Russ Manning, of course. This is great stuff. Had to pick that up from him. Another Harley Yee purchase. Don Winslow of the Navy. Which is, being in the Navy, I do like this title. And I like the Captain Storm from DC. And look, Medal of Honor winner. Or Don Winslow here won the Medal of Honor. Pretty darn cool. Another big purchase I did, but it was in a trade. And this dealer worked with me very, very well. I enjoyed the interaction. I enjoyed the purchase. Because it was a trade, I pulled the trigger on this particular book. Only because I got all the showcases. I got numerous reprints of this book. And I just wasn't going to pay the $300, $400 price tag. This was, I'm not even talking about prices, but that's what it really goes for in this condition. I was able to trade it. That's my Metalman #1, which I love the Metalman. This is a very nice copy. I have all the showcases and most of the earlier issues in pretty decent shape. I got a couple I need to replace at some point, but they're readable, and that's all I need for right now. But again, the showcase, the DC showcases, the DC reprints from the 70s. I've read this story a million times. No, I haven't. Not a million times. It's like saying, "Oh, it's a Grail." But I've read it numerous times. How's that? Middleman 1. And I also bought another fun title, The House of Mystery, The Dull Age for Hero, first appearance of Robbie Reed. And this was the other book that I did in a trade. And this is just a fun. This lasted into the 80s, man. It was a great fun series. Kind of quirky characters and stuff, but it was fun. Plastic Man had a Silver Age appearance in that book at some point. This is a good book. I like the character. It's wonky. What number is it? 48 and 49. Son of Vulcan, Mysteries of Unexplored Worlds. He got his own title. Continuation with that, but I do like Vulcan. It's a ripoff from Thor. I understand that, but it's still fun. I like the different powers of the armor and what he can do. Dave Cockrum designed this. When he was a fan, he wasn't yet. I don't think he was professional. I don't think very much. No, this is from. I don't think Dave Cockrum did anything yet at this point. No, this is from '65. No. But right here at the bottom, special thanks to Dave Cockrum for costume ideas. Get a nice look at that gloss. That's nice. Son of Vulcan, number 49. This is the continuation. And the art in this continuation of Mysteries of Unexplored Worlds, it's like a coloring book. The bold outlines, it's like a coloring book the way it looks. That's been colored, obviously. Volume 2, number 49, 1965. Oh, Gratu, if you're watching, your buddy Tony Tallarico does your artwork. I know Gratu's a big fan of Tony Tallarico. So if you go to Gratu's channel, please ensure that you let him know how much you're a fan of Tony Tallarico. And I picked up some other stuff. This is not Baltimore. Yeah, no, I think this might have been it from Baltimore for Friday. This I picked up, which is very cool, being First Comics, the John Stable Freelance Omnibus, been done by Master Stroke Edition. And they had it there. It's kind of pricey. It was $125, but you meet Mike Grell there, and he signed it for you. And Mike Grell charges $25 for an autograph, I think. So he didn't charge for this. So Mike Grell signed it right there. And this is the first. Let's This is volume 1. Oh, I don't tell you what issues. But it's quite well done. It feels very good. I'm not a big fan on reproductions when they do the glossy paper. I like the more matte, or sometimes what Chris or Craig Yo will do will make it look kind of aged. I like that paper. I don't like the reflection of light onto it. But again, this is a nice volume I got at Baltimore. They just released it. This came off the presses at Baltimore. They brought it there for the first time. And when I bought the book, Mike Grell gave me some of the Kickstarter prints. Nice Mike Grell pencils on this. Again, it's not original. It's just a print. And this beautiful John Sable, another John Sable color lithograph, or whatever you want to call them. So that was fun. Tomorrow's was there, which I love anything Tomorrow's does. Tomorrow's publication, anyone who's into comic book history, the publications they put out, Tomorrow's nails it. It's really good. They were there. And of course, Baltimore was in September. Now it's November. And this was released in October, but I was able to get it there in September, which was Working with Ditko. Been dying. I canceled my, well, I took it out of my cart. I mean, I took it off of pre-order off of Amazon. I've been waiting for this, but Tomorrow's already had it there. And it's just about Jack C. Harris working with Ditko and his career. And it's just going to be a great... I've not had a chance to read this yet. I've been reading other things. But this is going to be phenomenal. Looking forward to that. And got this yesterday. I posted on Instagram already. This is The Adventures into Terror, Volume 1. The Atlas Comics Library. I made a snafu on this. I saw in the back when I was reading it, and it came in the mail. I saw the Marvel logo all bright and everything. I'm like, oh my God, Marvel's finally doing something right. And I posted on Instagram, and someone came back saying, well, it is Marvel, but Fantagraphics is the one that did the book, which makes sense to me. This is too well done. I hate to say it for what Marvel is today. Very, very well. It feels great. The paper stock, it's not the glossy paper, so there's no reflection on it. So it's really good. And it's got the ads in there. I've read a little bit of it last night. I've not read the whole thing. But it's so good. But yeah, and there it is right there. Fantagraphics. So yeah, this Adventures into Terror, Atlas Horror. And the person who told me on Instagram also said the next volume is Joe Manili, which is going to be sweet. Can't wait to see that. Picked up that. Another thing I picked up, again, I'm going to crack this out soon. This was a no-brainer. Best of the West, which I need, number 11 from 1953. My boy Straight Arrow on the front. With the other characters there on the side. Nice, great stories. Emmy, I've said it before and I'll say it again. For the time period, they put out some of the best, well-written, well-drawn Westerns of the time period, in my opinion. On the back, at the Hopalong Cassidy, little doll, and some other cool stuff. Yeah, I bought this for $30. I don't talk about pricing usually when I pay for stuff, but when you find something like this, the book's worth that alone. Without this, I don't know why they graded it. The person, I bought this from the shop. I don't know why they graded it. I think some people grade, oh, it's an old comic book, I'm going to get it graded. I think that's what they do. I don't know. But yeah, this is This is a must-have for the collection, and this is the grade I like. You know, you can read it. You don't have to worry about anything happening to it. You put it in the Mylar. It looks great, and it's a nice addition to the collection. I bought some other books that I needed to fill runs. Oh wow, less than an hour. That's awesome. Nothing to write home about, but they're great comic books because I like this Manhunter. Um, I had this. I could not find it pre-Baltimore, so I had to pick it up again. But this is from a shop. It's not from. I don't think it's from Baltimore. But anyway, got that. Well, that's Justice League number 140. I like those Manhunters. They're cool. There they are again. Yeah, number 141. Such a great cover. You have been sentenced to die, Justice League. We are your executioners. He's got Green Lantern. Get ready to throw him. And what's Green Arrow going to do with that stupid arrow? That's funny. Boxing glove arrow would have been better. This one I did not have, too much to my shock and dismay. I love the floating heads. And I love the JSA. And I did not have this for some reason. This is number 82. This Thor, big Bob Layton fan, picked the Thor up. I like Thor too. The Bob Layton cover was Aces. I did not have this in the collection. This is Thor. That's what was it? 334. Another Bob Layton cover. 336. Needed this in the collection. I do not know why I don't have these. This is from '83, so I was still buying comic books then. Cause I had a from late '84 into '89. I was in the Navy, so I didn't buy. I wasn't able to buy and keep up with all the comic books. So there was a lull in my buying, and that was during that time. But '83, I was in 11th grade then. So I don't know why I wasn't 83, 11. Yeah, '84, 12th grade. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't buy that. Maybe I did, and just something happened to it. This is a great. A lot of people seen this. 356, Thor, Bob Layton, Jackson Weiss. Jackson Weiss is on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, I suggest you follow him. If you haven't, he posts some great comic book history and insight, and it's so good. I interact with him on there, and it's fun, and the stuff that he talks about is just so good. If you're into old comic books, the Jackson Weiss stuff is great. His posts. Another great Bob Layton cover on Thor Annual number 11, and I did have this one before, but I don't know where it's at. So these are only a few dollars. So, and it's a nice shape. And I really like Curse, one of my favorite Thor villains. So I bought another copy. I have one. I have another one somewhere floating around. If I wanted to read this again without digging through the collection, I was able to get this for a song. So and look how badass Curse is. Very cool villain. This I pick up whenever I see it because I give it away a lot. And it's What If number 3, my all-time favorite comic book. Written by Jim Shooter, art by Gil Kane and Klaus Janson. And if anyone's never read this before, you gotta change that. It's just so good. The battle that the Avengers go through fighting Hulk and Submariner is just it's just. And Tony makes armor for all the Avengers. Look at a little wasp flying around with little armor. Yeah, he makes a giant man, and they all got different colors of armor. The giant man's in that cool looking blue, but I'm not giving away the ending because it's so good. It's got everything in it: art, story, action, drama. Look at that. I mean, it's just fantastic. I don't want to give anything else more away in this, but this is in beautiful shape, and it's highly recommended. If no one, or if you read it and you forgot about it because you were a kid, or you know, you need to go out and get that. This is it's always a classic in my collection. It's not an old book. It's just fun. What If number 13. And what this indulge me, please indulge me. What cracked my friends and I up, we all bought this. We went out into the comic store, might have been to 7-Eleven or something like that, but we bought this and we were reading it. We're on the bus or something, or somewhere, and one of my friends got to this part quicker than some of us did. But there's this part where when he gets transported into the 20th century, he's in the middle of some the underbelly of the city. You know, there's crime. He's looking at people being rude to him. He doesn't know what's going on. Of course, the fish out of water type thing. And then he meets this cab driver, and they're together, and there's a riot, people breaking into stores and stuff. So Conan, he hears it. He jumps down to see what's going on because he's hearing chaos. Conan has got to be part of the chaos. So, what is part of that? It's funny. Yeah, I just laughed. When did this book come out? 78. So it's been that long that I still remember it to this day. We thought this was the funniest thing. Like this guy right here. Look, I got his sword. In the next panel, he punches him right in the face. Doesn't say anything. You don't take Conan's sword, man. You don't take it for nothing, man. That's such a... Hey, man, look, I got me a sword. Just call me Darth Vader. And then the next panel, Conan just knocks the teeth out of that dude. That's one thing you don't. You don't pull off your men's cape. You don't spin in the wind. You don't take the mask of the Lone Ranger, and forget about Jim. You don't take Conan's sword. That's a fact. But it's a fun book. So if you ever see this in the wild, haven't read it, it's recommended. It's just fun. It's a typical fish out of water. Better than the other one that he did where he's got guns and stuff. Because he's still a barbarian and he's still doing Conan stuff. This was one that I did miss, and I picked it up. The Ghost Rider story is just as good, and probably a little bit better than the Daredevil one, but I like the Ghost Rider story. But it's What If Daredevil became an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., which isn't too far-fetched. I don't know why S.H.I.E.L.D. would hire him, not knowing what his powers would be, but maybe they do. I don't know. I've not read that particular story. I read the Ghost Rider story first. This is a good one. What if the Avengers fought the Kree Skrull War without Rick Jones? This one I do remember buying. I never retained it. Either traded it or got lost in the wind. I don't know. I'm like there was at least when I got out of the Navy, my mom and dad had moved back to Indiana and took all my comic books with them. They shipped them to me into Maryland. There's at least 5 boxes. I know for a fact, 5 long boxes that never showed up. So in those long boxes, there were some of these books I do know. This was one I cannot find, and I do remember enjoying it immensely. I'm a big Nova fan. Love Nova. Oh, I just read this the other day. It's in the pile. This is one of my favorite books as well. The Simon Grundy is just cool. And of course, the JSA members fighting them. And the Green Lantern, I think this is Green Lantern. The claim to fame to this one, other than being a great story and great artwork, is its Green Lantern's Silver Age appearance, I think. These I bought recently. Tomb of Darkness number 19. This is a mashup. Great. I love this. Ron Wilson, Pablo Marcos. My favorite Bronze Age artist dudes. Great cover. Tomb of Darkness 18. I don't know who did this cover. Can't tell the style. This is a great one. Number 20. The skeleton wants a kiss from this chick. Look at that. I have searched for you weeks, dear Mara. Aren't you going to welcome home your husband with a great big kiss? That's cool. This was a no-brainer to buy. I love these older stories. This is how I learned back when I was a kid, buying these books, not knowing that they were reprints, not knowing they were older stories, just learning what's going on with these characters in these 100 pages. This is Flash 232. And I had to catch up on my Flaming Carrot. I found these for a steal, really. Flaming Carrot 21. Love some Flaming Carrot. I'd love to get a commission of Flaming Carrot and Madman. That'd be a great commission. This is a great book. If you get Flaming Carrot, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I understand. Number 25, Flaming Carrot Comics. Almost at an hour. Number 26, Flaming Carrot Comics. This is an eerie cover. I'm not having to sit down and read these yet, but this is number 28. Number 29. This is number 30. These are nice shape too, and they're like almost cover price. Great cover. And that's it for comic book wise. I did pick up some novels since I got you here. Oh. I think I already talked about it. No, maybe I didn't. This just came in the other day. Necroscope. Brian Lumley, and it's really good horror. And these are hard to find. And Collectible Science Fiction on Instagram sells hard to find sci-fi and horror, but not strictly hard to find, but things you just don't find every day. And things you do find every day. But he sells, and it's great to deal with him. He's fast, he's quick, puts it up. You gotta be quick though the minute you see it. If you want it, you gotta tell him you want it, because someone's gonna jump on there and get it. A.E. Van Vogt, Out of the Unknown. It's a great cover. And I got some Robert E. Howard. The Moon of the Skulls, The Hand of Cain, and Solomon Kane. The 3 Solomon Kane stories. Nice little set. I'm not even broke these out yet. I've not had a chance to sit down and read. I've been reading another horror series. It's really not that good. I'm not impressed with it so far. And of course some H.P. Lovecraft and others. Good stuff here. Again, it's right here. It's Collectible Science Fiction. Here's a bookmark. You get a free bookmark. That's always fun. Collectible Science Fiction on Instagram. Be there, be square. All right. Oh, another thing I want to show you. Kind of cool. The original movie poster, the Jeepers Creepers 2. The shot got in a bunch of vintage movie posters. I was able to score this one. Jeepers Creepers 2. One of my favorite horror movies. That was cool to get. That's about it, folks. That's about what I've picked up the last few weeks or months, I should say. I know it's been a long time. I thank you guys for coming in, hanging out, sticking with me. I'm not going to promise when the next video is going to be. I will be on Four Color Fossils on Micah's channel. Tomorrow, showing some of these books again on the audience for the Four Color Fossils. I might not be able to talk because of my microphone. I don't know, and I hope this comes out okay. I've been babbling for an hour and a minute. I don't know if I can, if I'm coming out okay. So we'll see. Well, that's about it. Like I said, thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. Sorry it's so long. Thanks to our new subscribers. I hope you found this entertaining. I'm not just babbling. So that's that. You guys take care, and I will see you next time, or I will see you tomorrow night on the Four Color Fossils. And you guys have a good one.